Welcome, everyone, to podcast episode number 2, part 1, as you saw in the title, goal setting. It's one of my favorite topics in the whole wide world. And because I get amped up about it, super excited, I thought it might be a little overwhelming to the majority of you. So I thought, let's do a two-parter. And that way, it's not as overwhelming. So in today's episode, I'm going to go over 5 things to prep for goal setting. So number 1, of course, will be recap of 2023. Number 2 will be I am a ULA certified coach, and I like their programs for goal setting. So we'll go over the ULA wheel. We will do the 5-year experience. We will do some breath work, not here, but I'll talk about it so you can go find a great breathwork person. And then number 5, we'll end with our vision or our dream for 2024. So that's kind of what we're going to go over in today's episode. Don't mind the gray wall. I know I got new camera, new microphone setups, but I still have this gray wall. By next week, maybe for part 2, I will have a better background. But if not, for now, it's the gray prison wall of my daughter's room who moved away. So this is my podcast studio. So welcome. All right, without further ado, let's jump into goal setting. So number 1, I love goal setting, like I mentioned. And I think, like, I'm crazy. I set 21 goals. Do I reach them every year? No. Sometimes I reach a lot. Sometimes I don't reach any. For instance, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I read like 4 books. The next year, I'm like, I'm going to read 100 books. I just threw it out there into the world. Yep, going to read 100 books. Did I reach it? No. I got 75, which, dang, that's pretty impressive to get 75 books read. So sometimes you may not reach it, but in my goal setting vision, how I do it, it's the journey over the goal. Because when you get to your goal and you reach it, it's over. Now what? It's kind of like a little bit of a letdown. You reached your goal and it just ends. I'm all about the journey and how you get to your goals. I want you to accomplish them, obviously, but I think so much is focused on if you reach the goal or not versus the journey. So my journey in reading 100 books or trying to read 100 books is that my social media time tanked, which was kind of awesome. I was very relaxed a lot more, wasn't, into everything else, didn't feel like I lost out too. It still didn't feel like I didn't know what people were doing for the most part. But yeah, that's what reading 75 books does. You have to take up time. So for me, it was my social media time. I felt more relaxed. I learned a lot. I love mystery books and business books. So it's like the 2 books I read. I don't do anything sad, depressing, ain't got time for that. So that was neat. And that journey was almost more cool than the fact that I didn't reach my goal of 100, which if I had done the traditional SMART goals, it would have told me this is not a SMART goal for my time set. But sometimes I just like to throw ideas out there and see what sticks. So not the perfect goal system here you're going to get. All right, step 1, we're going to talk about the brain dump and getting rid of everything from the previous year. So I'm not big on mindset, going backwards, a lot of thinking and deep stuff. And I like to just go and be actionary, but it is important to do the mindset and get your mind right before you set goals for 2024. So that being said, we're going to brain dump. You can write it on a piece of paper. You can do lists. I'm a list maker. So I love to just, when I brain dump, I just do lists versus full on sentences. I know some people just full on paragraph it out in ongoing sentences. You can just talk about it, just let it out in the universe. You can record it. However you want to get 2023 out, we have to get it out because we are leaving it behind. So whether you had a bad year, some tough things, we want to leave those in 2023 as much as possible. If you had a good year, great. Talk about how great that was. Take that energy into 2024. But you want to get rid of everything. So just scribble it all down, write all down. You can burn it, rip it up, throw it away. This isn't something that, to me, you look back at over time. It's a snapshot really quickly of, hey, this is all that happened in 2023, the good, bad, and ugly. You can overview it and go, oh, there's some good things, which if you had a really hard year, that is maybe nice to find a few good things that you can go, hey, it wasn't all bad. But brain dump that entire thing on, excuse me, in 2023, brain dump it out. And we're going to leave it there. We want our shoulders light as we come into 2024 to conquer our goals. We don't want to be dealing with the stress from previous year. This new year will have all its own stresses, right? All right, number 2, I am a ULA certified coach, and I use their goal setting system for right now. For the most part, I tweak it a bit, but It's a really great system that I love. So, attached to this in my YouTube channel and on Spotify, you will see a link to an ULA life assessment wheel. When you go to that link, you're going to have to scroll down a little bit to find the the actual link. It takes just a couple minutes. ULA has 7 areas of life. So it's field, fun, fitness, finance, family, friends, and faith. And so you're going to be asked about all those areas. And if you don't have a faith, just something that you think that's higher for you, sometimes maybe you're really into, helping world hunger. That could be your faith. But if you do have faith, the questions are geared towards faith. And you can also not answer them and it just put it low for you, but that's not your thing. But you're going to answer 10 questions. I think it's 8 or 10 questions under each area and between 1 and 10. And so you're just answering them all. And then what it does is you'll get a email back to you that shows your wheel. And it's going to show you where are the areas of your life that may be lower. So a lot of people may have fitness lower, and that's where their goal setting is, or faith, or you're working so hard cleaning the house with your family and then outside at work and you're doing 100,000 things, but you're not having any fun. Maybe fun's low. Maybe finances are tight, whatever it is, it'll tell you on your reel what your lowest lowest areas are. And so that will help us curate our goals going into episode 2. So get that out. It's a good kind of level to let you know, like, okay, I am at this level and it's okay. This is just where you are. It's not who you are in life. This is where you are in life. And so fill that wheel out as step 2. Step 3, the 5-year experience, experiment, experience, not really sure the terminology there. Sometimes it's hard for me to think forward. I'm very much a quarterly goal planning person, which you will see my system as it unfolds a little bit more throughout the year in these episodes. Because sometimes a year is really overwhelming to me, especially. I call myself an self-diagnosed ADHD, and so sometimes a whole year is just like I can't even comprehend that. So I do it in quarters. So if you're super overwhelmed, have a lot going on, do a monthly goal, do quarterly goals, do a yearly goal, whatever works for you, that's what you're going to do. But sometimes to help you feel like, well, what am I going to do? I have no goals. What do I want with life? A great thing is the 5-year experience, and write down everybody's birthdays, anniversaries from, just you and your spouse, significant other, partner, your kids, your parents. Some of you are going to have to still have grandparents. Just write their birth, how old they will be in 5 years. It really gives you this perspective. Like, I think both of my kids will both almost be teenagers, my younger two, and then my older two will be mid to early 20s. So it's like, oh, we're talking maybe marriage and family, and then teenage years, yikes. And so it just gives you a perspective of like, oh my gosh, in 5 years, I only have so much time left. When they were teenagers, then you only have 4 years left with them, or 5 years. So it really kind of gives you an idea of what might be important that you hadn't thought about if you had just maybe written some goals down. So by having this 5-year kind of where everything's going to be at in 5 years, maybe a job ends in 5 years, or you're going to be up for a new job, promotion, all those things. What's life look like in 5 years in the sense of that? And it doesn't have to go very deep. It could just be birthdays, stuff like that. So that's exercise number, what are we at? 3 possibly? All right, perfect. Number 4. Most of you heard of Wim Hof breathing. If not, I recommend you find someone great that does it. I don't really have one yet. I'm looking for one. So put in the comments who you like. But basically, as you're going through this next step before we get into the fun dream part, is we want to relax our shoulders, deep breath in, deep breath out. And just, you can see my shoulders, if you're on, Spotify, but imagine my shoulders lowering. But yeah, your shoulders lower, you're letting go some of that tension, and just really, when you want to talk about your dream and your vision, you really have to be in this relaxed, kind of calm mindset. So this might mean that you need to be somewhere else to do this. When you're going to talk about your dream, maybe you need to be away from the house because it's loud and you can't really get the whole dream out when people are screaming in the background, young kids and stuff like that. So the dream, or the breath, sorry. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out, really get that calm peace. If you're a spiritual person, you're gonna maybe pray, what God envisions you to for this year. Maybe you're gonna meditate, whatever it is, just getting that peaceful stress. When we talk about goal settings, there is no naysayers. So we're getting rid of all that negative energy. We're not going to have, negative Nelly on our shoulder saying, "Hey, you can't do that. Why do you think you can read 100 books? You read 4 last year." All that. We're going to dust them off there, kick them off. Pew. We don't want them. Sorry, the visuals here are really funny. If you're on Spotify, it's probably thinking I'm a little woo woo. But, anyways, getting that peaceful mindset so that you can do my favorite part, one of my favorite parts. Number 5 is vision. Why do people do vision boards? And I think that's awesome. And that's part of what this exercise is dreaming and creating that vision board, because you have to have your goals tied to a dream or vision. If you go out there and just say, I want to lose 50 pounds, when you're going through a hunger craving, everybody's having cake at a party, if you don't have a vision or dream tied to that, you're gonna be like, whatever, doesn't matter, I'll just lose pounds next year, or I'll start next week or next Monday, whatever it is. You get that self-talk, which your brain is so good at negative self-talk. And so it just brings you down. But if you're staring at that cake and your vision is, I want to, like for me, when I went on my weight loss journey, or my health journey, I'd say, I'm going another one because I had some other health issues, but I want to get on the floor with my kids. I'm 40, I think 7, who knows, 46, 47. I want to be able to get down on the ground and get back up. Sometimes I can get down, I can't get back up. And, be able to sit on a hard surface or a floor for 20 minutes so I can play with my kids and have fun with them and not be like, oh, mom can't do that because she can't get on the floor. And so by having that mindset, when I look at that cake, I look like, no, that cake's going to prevent me from getting on the floor with my kids and playing. Or if I didn't have that dream, it's like there's just nothing tied to it. So this is why this is the most important step before you just start going in and writing all your goals down of what you want to do. So when we talk about dreaming and visioning, I like to see, what do you want the year to feel like, sound like, look like? Do you want to work less? Do your finances need some big resetting? You're going to be doing a lot of no spend months, but kind of figure out what you want to do. So for like me and my family, we just had this addition built. And so I feel I want to use it. We spent a lot of money, paid a lot of hard workers, amazing workers to build this for us because we do not have that skill set. I want to use it. I want to do puzzles in there. I want to scrapbook. I want to watch movies with my kids, listen to them playing video games. Maybe not. That's very stressful. But, what do you envision? I want to be in that room. My parents are getting older, and my mom has boxes of photos, and I want to get through those so that they're in actual usable form. So instead of a big box where it's getting, damaged, we have them in beautiful little pretty boxes that if I want to go back and look at my childhood or my parents' childhood, I have all these wonderful pictures that I can look at. Or we may scrapbook them, who knows? But, that's what I want to do. My parents are getting older. The more time I spend with them, I'm going to be happy because knowing that this time, they're in their mid 70s. So time happens fast. I want to go on dates with my husband. I did this one year. We do a monthly date. We're doing it again this year where we each take a turn planning a date, and it's really awesome. And I love it. And it gives not all the pressure on me to plan the dates or him. And we get to find fun activities to do. So I want to connect more with friends. Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of, we want to do so. We traveled a lot last year, so our finances are a little tight. So we want to get caught back up so that we can maybe do fun trips again like that in a year or two. So those are kind of you want to just think about. We're not thinking about limitations, I mean, yeah, if you want to go to Hawaii, put it in there. This is your dream. This isn't goals. This isn't saying you're going to happen, but by dreaming things, you want to look better, you want to feel better, all the things. This is dreaming. There is no wrong answer. You just want to get all those dreams out there and what your vision looks like for the year. So then you can start seeing, okay, well, my dream is I'm going to be in Hawaii for a month. However, reality is my paycheck says that's not okay. Then this might be a 2-year goal. This might be, first, I got to get my finances in order. First, I need to save up. So that's why when it comes to goal setting, It might not be this year that your dream works, but it's not necessarily a no, because we want our dreams to happen. They don't always. Life happens, things get in the way, kids get sick, parents get sick, and that alters your dreams and goals. So before we go into goal setting tomorrow, or sorry, next week, we are just going to sit down and, brain dump 2023, fill out our ULA wheel, do the 5-year experience, take some deep breaths, get ready in a awesome area where you can just relax and do some goal or dream session and visioning of what you want. And at the end of that, totally do a vision board. It'll be perfect to bring it into next week's session of goal setting where we actually set the goals. And also when you have those goals and those dreams, that's why I love it when people put their vision board on their computer screen, their phones, their bathroom mirrors, wherever you want to keep it in your mind, because life will happen and it kind of pushes you back away from your goals, because all of a sudden 3 weeks happen. You're like, oh, what was I doing for my goals? But if you have it in front of you visually, it really grounds you in that. And that's why goal setting is so important, is the fact that 2023 went by so fast. Who else is like, wait, it's 2024? What happened to 2023? Now, I'm a B personality and I love living in the moment, but I have found in my later years that the moments happen quicker and quicker. And if you don't set some strategic guidelines or goals, it will just pass you by and you will not be able to live out your dreams and goals without setting them. And, B personality here, hate the idea of, rigid things and all that. And it doesn't have to be rigid. And when we do our breakout of the goals next week, you're going to see how easy it is and to accomplish goals, because you break them down into bite-sized nuggets. Each week or each month or each quarter, what are you doing for each of your goals? And you can be crazy like me and set 21, or you can say, hey, I just have one goal, or I have 3 goals. Whatever it is, it's your choice and your ability to set the goals you want to achieve based on your dreams. So do those 5 things. Comment with questions, DM me with questions. I'd love to see all the wheels they get sent to me. So I'll see what you're low in so that we can also discuss if you're open to that, wanting to get some more help one-on-one, or just keep watching my listening to my podcast or watching on YouTube, and you'll probably learn a lot too. But I do I do coaching as well, online or in person. So would love to partner with you if you are needing a little bit more help this year. Anyways, thank you so much. I look forward to part 2, because that's my jam, the goal setting part. But get those dreams ready.